Hi, it's Jen from Shabby Fabrics with something extra special. We are having a party and you are invited. For all of 2024, we are having the most amazing sew along we've ever had. We are so excited for this one. This is the On Wander Lane Wall Hanging Club, one for every single month of the year. You already know Nancy Halverson is absolutely one of our favorite designers ever. I've been following her work for decades. I love that. These are based on the On Wander Lane quilt that I saw at International Quilt Market, 12 darling applique blocks, one for each month of the year, really just celebrating that month, and then surrounded by patchwork blocks. And I love that Nancy has made 12 dedicated patterns, one for each month of the year, that not only shows you that center block and the patchwork, but other projects as well. So you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be a part of this. Tell me what I need to know. Here's the most exciting part of all to me. I'm so excited about this, is we will be doing a monthly supporting tutorial for every single one of these projects in 2024, starting in January. We will be with you. Tammy and I, or Tammy or I, will be providing instruction on what is this, how do you do this? So if you're a beginner and you've been waiting and watching and not participating, that's over. Jump in and grab your spot. That's your RSVP. We're super excited. And thank you to Nancy for allowing us to just come alongside newer quilters, or maybe people who are used to doing a lot of applique, but they're not as confident in patchwork. We will get you all tuned up where you're feeling really confident about patchwork. And now those quilts that are pieced won't even intimidate you in any way, shape, or form. How are we going to be running this? Here's the great news. We'll be shipping you the project the month ahead. So in January, we'll be providing supporting video on the project for February. That gives you plenty of time to be able to put the project together, so you have that to display for the full month of February. And of course, in January, we'll be shipping that February kit. What you can expect from us is full knowledge. We're sharing everything we know about applique, patchwork, cutting, piecing, seam allowances, pressing, everything we can. We'll be talking about borders, binding techniques, hanging sleeves. Notice the project behind me is hanging on this darling Ack felt hanger. You only need one of those hangers, of course. There's a hanging sleeve on the back. How fun to find your special spot in your house and be able to just change that out month after month. So your options here, this is the thread set. That is an option for you. You're used to that, right? Every time we come out with a new applique project, we love to show you what our thread set is and make that available. How convenient. Just grab out your thread set, get your applique down, and now you're stitching away. Buttons. We know many of you have sewing baskets full of buttons. Maybe you want to personalize your project with buttons that are meaningful to you, that are personal to you. But if you're like me, I don't have all those things at home. I would be sure to pick that button option because I think her button choices are darling. Many of them handcrafted here in the United States by just another button company, darling bumblebees, the snowman noses, and so much more. If you're fairly new to quilting, you might not have a very large suite of rulers. We wanted to show you what we thought were some of the most important rulers, and we will certainly be demonstrating those with you each month. These videos are going to be free for you to watch at home at your convenience 24/7. And this is sew along, basically, is what we're doing all year long. I know when New Year's are approaching, I'm like, I want something to look forward to, not just once, but now we get to see each other 12 times a year. How fun. Grab a friend too. Maybe set up a sewing date with a friend, or maybe a group of your whole quilt guild, and be able to get your project done. That way you stay on schedule. Just some ideas I've learned. Every time, kind of like an accountability buddy, right? What you've come to expect from us is what you're going to get. Pre-fused laser cut applique. Again, thank you to Nancy for allowing us to do that right now, to my knowledge. We're the only ones offering the Wall Hanging Club with pre-fused laser cut applique. Skip the tracing, skip the cutting. Focus on the fun and focus on the patchwork. You'll, of course, be getting the exact fabrics Nancy used with no substitutions We're even going to be including the backing in your binding. Everything will be there. And of course, your book will be included as well. Embroidery floss will also be included. Of course, I'll be including that instruction as we kick off our program in January. We really are not going to leave any stone unturned. So if you've been hesitant to join in a program, thinking your skills aren't where they need to be, don't let that stop you. Sign up today and join us for the sew along. Each month we'll be coming right alongside you, showing you tips and techniques of what we did when we put the wall hangings together. We put these projects together. It took us a long time. This is called the Wafer 2 Light Box, and these are the applique mats, both the small and the larger one. And you might want to pick those up right now when you grab your spot. We will use those. They're like a magic trick. We use the diagrams inside of Nancy's amazing books in combination with this and our laser cut shapes. We get to pre-assemble those applique things, and we'll be going through that process in our first tutorials. We'll be going into great detail, moving those shapes onto the background, and that's when we start piecing that with our beautiful thread, and we'll be going into great detail. Of course, we need other elements, right? A good recipe always starts with good ingredients. Quilting's the same way. This is really our key, our combination. A good wool pressing mat, a good iron, good thread. We used our Aurifil. You can use the white or the gray. Patchwork pins, needles. If you need assistance with the 1/4" seam allowance, the seam guide, diagonal seam tape, those are my go-tos. And of course, those most obvious things, the fresh blade and the rotary cutter and the new needle and the sewing machine really just kick you off and set you on just a trajectory of success. So the most important thing, your RSVP, is to say, yes, I need to be in that club. Let your friends know, let your quilt guild know. Maybe set up those quilting dates like I talked about, and I will absolutely see you as we kick off this amazing new club in January of 2024.